lovely natural perfume lovers. It is Jessica Kiley here from Sensoriam with our latest edition of Founder.I.Am. Today we get to know a little bit more from the wonderful founder Laura Ballin, who is the founder, the perfumer and inspiration behind one of our newest brands, Ode To Self, which is not only 100% natural, of course, but is very much living and breathing its name. I love this idea of having an ode to ourselves. So welcome, Laura. Such a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you so much. Lovely introduction. Thank you. It's really, really nice to be here.
You're welcome. Well, I might as well start there because I love the idea of the word. I'm a big person with wording and etymology and things like that. But this idea of having an ode to ourselves on a daily basis through scent is so special.
Yep.
So where does that ethos come from for yourself?
Definitely. Well, I guess being a naturopath, I entered the holistic health realm. That was my sort of first footing. I actually grew up not knowing anything about holistic health, natural perfumery. It wasn't something that my family sort of brought me up with. So it is probably in my late teens, early 20s where I really dove headfirst into it. And I guess my experience with my health is sort of where I sort of learnt that I wasn't respecting my body, I wasn't respecting my health, and that's sort of a bit of a journey I had of that's so important for health, of course, but also just day to day and enjoying life. You need to be looking after yourself and honouring your body, honouring your mind. And I guess for me, scent over time was a tool that I started to use. It was like, use your diffuser a little bit, using little roll-ons maybe you get from a health food shop or something. And I guess my experience with working in the fashion industry, with modelling as well, I sort of got that, love designer perfumes, but I was like, how can I make a designer modern perfume that you can use like your mainstream, I guess, sort of perfumes, but it's respecting your health as well. And I guess scent, using something daily, you may as well have it as a reminder to respect yourself too, rather than just smelling good. I mean, that's a nice part of it, but we definitely sort of if it can help with emotional well-being as well and incorporate on a day-to-day basis, that's like what we're aiming for, and I feel like we've achieved as well. So yeah, Ode to Yourself is sort of what I was doing for me, and then I found a lot of other people need to do it for themselves as well. So that's sort of where it came from.
That's great. So often it's our own personal journeys that are intertwined
Yep.
into what we create and bring into this world. So you mentioned that you went through your own sort of health journey. Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. We probably need like a few hours. A few hours to get through. No, I'll just highlight the main things. So I guess working in the fashion industry, it was great, and there's lots of amazing parts of it. So I was modeling overseas and living in, I was about to say Thailand, didn't live in Thailand, Hong Kong. I worked in Singapore as well, and definitely being quite young. I started when I was 16 years old, so I did develop a bit of an eating disorder, which I worked through actually really, really well. I did have a lot of support during that time, but that's sort of where probably body image issues were stemmed from. And obviously just in the modelling industry, there's a bit of a stereotype, but for me it definitely was a lot of pressure, particularly when you're so young and you're still learning about yourself. And so that sort of side of things, probably I would say early mid-20s is sort of where I sort of really got to recovering, and really when I was studying naturopathy and really leaning into the Ode to Self overarching sort of theme there. Also a few years ago I did have thyroid cancer, which with cancer, thyroid cancer, it is, I guess, one of the better ones, if there is a better cancer to have, but I didn't have to have chemotherapy or anything like that. But as we know, the thyroid is this master hormone regulator, and I did have to get my whole thyroid removed. So all good now. I didn't have to, like I said, no chemo or anything like that, but it just further pushed me into, okay, we do as humans need to be more aware of how important what we're putting on our skin, not just eating on a day-to-day basis, but also what we're putting on our skin is so important, because we know there is great research and even more developing research that certain ingredients in perfumes and natural beauty, not natural beauty, goodness, in overall beauty and stuff can affect our hormones. And I guess, having that quite scary experience was definitely something that pushed me further into wanting to do this, particularly as women. We use so many products on our skin, and, so many things that we, I guess, eat as well, and like habits and all that sort of stuff. It's sort of, just really lined up with, okay, being a naturopath and being a natural perfumer still is really like needed in our society. So that's probably like the two main things that really my health sort of experience, and just like anxiety and things that sort of came alongside of that, gut issues, all that sort of stuff, which sort of was probably secondary to what I experienced there.
Well, that's quite the journey.
It is. I could keep talking and talking, but I won't do that.
And that's such a lot of life to be infusing into what you do at Ode To Self. So that makes a whole lot more sense. So a question that came to me, when you were then 16 and modelling, what do you think the ode was to at that time for you?
Oh, my goodness.
Ode to the attention? Was it ode to the money? Was it ode to the idea of, interesting?
Definitely.
What do you feel the ode was to?
That's a really good question. I would say personally, like, ode to like success. And I think success in my mind was, like, being beautiful, and that was validating by getting good jobs, and people go, oh my god, you're a model, you're modeling overseas, that's so cool, like Laura the model, that's always what I was known as by friends and stuff. And that was sort of my what I labeled myself as. So living up to that and being successful was sort of, and maybe like childhood experiences, wanting to be successful and do things, and like that's probably entwined in there too. There's probably lots of like emotional things that are underlying all of that, but definitely ode to success. I'd say attention as well. I was lucky that social media was around, like Facebook, but Instagram was quite new, so there wasn't as much as there is now out there with like so much pressure. Like there's definitely Tumblr, and that was horrible. I don't know if you're on Tumblr much, but it was a horrible, like, it was really bad for body image and all the rest. But so that was like a big area, and probably took quite a while to get out of that sort of mindset, but it's definitely there now. Like, it's definitely, I mean, success is good, but really at the end of the day, I just want to be healthy and happy and have great offerings that bring people joy and have purpose. So
And was there a particular turning point for you that helped you to sort of see the impact of that ode for a period, and that then made you sort of go, I want to do it differently now?
Well, I had a bit of a break. Well, there's a few things that sort of happened. Probably the main thing was I had a bit of a break from overseas modelling. Like, I went to Hong Kong twice for like a 3-month contract, came back home, went back again, and came back home. And I was like, I'm going to travel just for me, not for any other purpose. I don't think I had done that before. That all overseas travels were for work. And I went backpacking through Southeast Asia with my best friend, and she is someone who loves food and just wants to experience life, and so removed from like having so many like pressures with beauty and body image. So being there, not having like, I don't know what it's like traveling there now, but you didn't really have your phone on you all the time to look at Instagram and stuff, so it was very removed from everything. And being with her, who's experiencing all this amazing food, it was like I was kind of forced and thrown into it. And meeting all these other people who were there just had different values than being around the fashion industry. And that sort of really forced me. It was 6 weeks travel, so that really like was great. And I was like, wow, there's so much more to life than just modeling, or even outside of modeling, just trying to look good or be a certain image and all the rest. So that was probably a really big turning point. When I came back home, I was like, okay, there's got to be a change here. And that's when I started looking into naturopathy and actually wanting to heal my gut, and just, there was a bit more thought process there and a bit of a shift, which, I would say definitely my best friend didn't mean to like help me, but she definitely did a lot. So that was probably the biggest thing. There's a few other bits and bobs that helped. My partner, who's a big foodie, he definitely helped too. He was like, I'm not like he's like, I got to cook pasta, I got to cook all the good stuff, you know. So that helped with everything. So yeah, that would have been, I reckon, when I was 20 or so, around that age. I'm 30 now.
Wow.
Yeah, decade ago. Goodness, time's going quickly.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Great. So what a journey there in terms of then finding natural health and natural living and the joy, it sounds like, that's in it. The joy of the eating and just the pleasures that are there in life, rather than, even though fashion and modeling can be this glamorous thing, it's actually quite limiting, or it's quite restrictive in what fits and what doesn't fit. It's opened up a whole lot more now, of course. We've got a lot more diversity in our modelling things, but I imagine behind the scenes there's still
a bit where to go. But yeah, definitely there is. I'm a little bit removed from it now, but it's opening up a bit more. But yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah. So then what led to Perfumery? And then, okay, it's fine to go, you've got to make sure your perfumes are healthy to have on your body as a naturopath, and helping women to find others, I guess, other perfumes to wear. When did you then start going, no, I actually want to make my own? And how did you then start learning?
So when it took me 6 years to do my degree in naturopathy. So throughout the whole degree, I was always making just like, your standard oil with a bit of lavender or peppermint, something really simple but effective, like for concentration or stress or whatever. And then I just started literally just Googling how to make a balm, how to like really simple DIY recipes. And then I sort of just like started going a little bit deeper. And when I would take it to uni, a lot of people were like, oh, what's that? Like, oh, that's nice. I started using a bit more complex ingredients, layering a bit more. I think I just used one of the websites like Eden Botanicals. They have some like great sort of basic resources. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, and then I am someone who, when I like something, I just get a bit obsessed with it and buy all the things and just want to do it all. So I started making them a little bit more, and then I loved like the branding. I was like, I'm just going to make little labels, that would be cute. And then people at uni wanted to buy one or like have one, so I started gifting them. It sort of just like developed from there. And probably over a year I was like, okay, I'm just going to like put them on my naturopathy Instagram. And then I really like the photography, even though I'm not a photographer. Like, I liked to take photos and content of them, and it just sort of kept going. I put them on my website, and then I was like, this is actually like working. This is like nice, and I'm still enjoying it, and it's such a good outlet from study. I don't know if many people know about naturopathy studies, but it is quite scientific. It's Bachelor of Health Science, so it's very like chemistry and like pathophysiology and stuff. So like having that break and just being able to free flow and trial all that was so good for me. So definitely that side of things is where that developed. How I taught myself was initially self-taught, definitely a lot of Googling, and then I sort of found people in the industry who actually like do teach, like Mandy Aftel, am I saying her last name right? So like following her and her resources. And then I went traveling in France with my husband. Well, he wasn't my husband at the time, but in 2019, and we went through Grasse and stayed there, and I did a bit of a perfume course. It was only a short course, but it was like, it wasn't a natural perfumery course, but learning how to layer, learning how to like do dry downs, learning how to do that like a little bit step above, rather than just putting it together and hoping for the best. It's like a little bit more like getting that base foundation there. And when I came back home, I did a natural perfume course, it was just a masterclass through one of the other brands that you stock, actually, One Seed. I did like just a little bit of something there, and then I did work a little bit more with a lady who is in Brisbane, who is like she makes like her own line, but just like she's self-taught as well, and she just helped me a little bit with how to macerate things when I was making my eau de parfums, because that was another step, working with alcohol and all the rest of like, okay, how long do you do all this for? How do you filter things? So I would say mostly self-taught with a bit of like help along the way, but I am looking at a couple other courses to do once this little baby of mine is maybe a bit old. Once I just learn how to be a mum first. But yeah, I honestly like, just once I get into something, I just want to know exactly how it works and all the rest, and stick to the roots of you know, the maceration part, I love that. Like, even though it takes forever, like 3 months waiting for it. It's like it's a great process, and I like that slow part of it and seeing how something turns out. Anyway, I'm yabbering on here, sorry. But that's definitely.
So then, what's maceration for those who don't know what that is in perfumery, and particularly natural perfumery? What is it? Yeah,
so basically you have your extract, which is pretty much the concentrated version of your perfume, and it's a mix. Well, we use a mix of essential oils, resins, absolutes, which are different extractions of the botanical. So like essential oil, but different versions of that. And we have one of our perfumes is called Unfurl. We'll have that 100% concentrate there, and I wouldn't put that straight on skin straight away. You can for some perfumes, but not ours. And then we sit that in alcohol. We use organic sugarcane alcohol, and it's not denatured, so you won't drink it. It's food grade, but it doesn't have that sort of additive in there. It's very pure, which is great, and it's in Australia. Anyway, so pop it in there and you let it sit for, you do 3 months. You can do like 2 months or so, but I feel like extra month, even though it's not ideal with the waiting time, it really gives it that extra, like the vanilla comes through a lot more with that as well. And that's just for our Aldi perfumes that we do that. And really like pop it in, macerating pretty much is where the alcohol draws out all of the beautiful scent and really helps it sort of develop. You'll find it gets a little bit deeper, a little bit more complex. The notes mix together and start to talk to each other a bit more. And it's definitely a beautiful process, but long process, which I'm sure a lot of perfumery companies probably wouldn't wait around 3 months to wait for a perfume.
Well, but once you've got a momentum on making, you've always got a batch going in a way, right? It's the same with wine or cheese or the mushrooms even now, I think, for it's that. Yeah, you start slowly doing small amounts, small batches, and then...
There's always stuff in the background and in the back of the cupboard waiting there for another month or so.
Yeah, that's right. That's kind of the idea of it.
Yeah.
And why was that decision for you to do small batch and go slow? Because even within naturals, there is the option of doing things a little bit more en masse and things. What was
definitely? I really just liked the process of to be honest, I'm not a super patient person. So it was sort of a little bit of a mindfulness activity for me anyway. So really being patient, and I like it because every batch has those core notes. So I'm just using Unfurl as the main example. So the beautiful white florals of osmanthus and linden blossom. So those beautiful fresh white florals. And then also it's got the other notes in there as well, but over time, when you macerate it and all the rest, they sort of they come together a lot more. And every time I finish a batch, it's the same core notes, but it is slightly different. It might have a slightly different color, might have a slightly different, a little bit stronger in the citrus notes, or the vanilla is just slightly different that it's been extracted from. And that just because we're using not the raw ingredients, we're using the resins and extracts. Each batch is different, sort of like a batch of fruit compared to another season of batch of fruit. It's the same, but it's slightly different. And that's what I really love about it. It's just you honouring sort of each season of each, botanical's life as well, and just, get the same scent but slightly different. I just love that. I think that's a really great part. So I know there is, extracts and things where you can, I guess, clean extracts and all the rest, but we haven't quite gone down that route as such, because I really like the changes that I get from each batch overall. So that's sort of where I really like to honour that sort of process a little bit more. Again, timely, but I think it's working for us for now, and our customers really like it too, which is nice.
I agree. I often say with people, with founders at Sensoriam, that a great brand is one that knows itself well and has its own story. So it has its own reasons, its own methodology, and if you're strong in that, that's actually part of your uniqueness. Because ultimately all these beautiful perfumes smell amazing, all of them do, and each of them find their home in a way in terms of who wants them because of all of that extra layering that goes on top.
100%. Yeah, I do find, I think it can be easy to be like, oh, maybe I should be doing something like utilizing this or not. But I'm like, you know what, this is like what is really what I say we when it's like only a very small team, but we really like to do. Like that's like a part that is important and enjoyable for me. And that's also part of having a business, enjoying what you're doing. So that energy, or here I go on the energetics, like that energy gets transferred into the perfume and it's like still a really positive product that has purpose overall.
Yeah, for sure. And so what was your go-to perfume before Naturals? Everyone's got one.
Well, I'd say growing up I was obsessed with Ed Hardy, which is like, I've smelt it now and there's nothing wrong with it, but it is very sweet and I'm like, wow, I didn't notice that at the time, but I guess I was in my teenage years and, you know, sweet is popular and fun. And I just remember wearing a lot of it, going through a lot of bottles of it, which is just insane. Or just like your impulse at school, like spraying that on. I haven't smelled that in ages. I do want to smell it again just to see what I was what I was liking. After that, though, like probably when I was modelling and all the rest, I did really sort of lean into a little bit more like your Chanel and things, like a few different ones of there, but I didn't probably have like a signature scent that I was a go-to. I probably chopped and changed a little bit, but definitely like the classic designer sort of brands. But I think also when I started to do my own perfumes, that was a lot of like finding what I liked in my scent. And I'd say at the moment ethereal is my go-to at the moment. I think it's quite unique. It definitely has like scents you can pick up. It's like, oh yeah, there's a bit of like the musty woods in there and all the rest, but I think it's just that little bit unique and I just adore it. Like it's just, I don't know, it just lingers. It's like, it's me. I made it for me, but a lot of people like it, luckily.
There we go. So tell us then, what are in this? What are we smelling?
Yeah, so pretty much the base, you've got 2 woods, like woody notes, but they're not like, I think a lot of people when they think of woods, they probably think of like sandalwood, a little bit more really rich, sort of deep, like a masculine scent. Whereas these are quite light, like white wood, so really light sort of wood. So we've got Peru balsam and muhuhu, which is a funny, I love that word to say. Yeah. So those woods are, they've actually got slight vanilla sort of notes, balsamic, so a little bit maybe sweeter, I'd say, but still a bit earthy too, and have that really a bit of a musky sort of dry down without it being sickly sweet musk. And then in the middle, we've got the beautiful heart notes. We've got a little bit of blue tansy, just a little bit to make it like, you know, I find it, if I use too much though, it's like, well, it just makes everything smell like blue tansy, but a little bit is so nice and complements the honeysuckle and the jasmine. Personally, I actually don't love too much jasmine in a scent, but I've just used a little bit, and it really just, it's like a hand holder, just helps all the ingredients come together and keep it fresh. And then the top notes, we've got some like yuzu, like Japanese lemon, I kind of sort of call it that, as well as a few other little citrus notes in there as well, which helps to keep it bright. So for me, I think like daytime scent definitely is like where I go to. And sometimes like, you know, I probably bring out Ardor, which is like the heavier sort of rich spices and rose and orris root, which is beautiful, nice sort of deep, leaves that nice like sort of deeper powdery notes in there, which I use for like date night and things like that, which is few and far between with this new baby, but that's okay. Next time I go, it'll be worth it. So yeah, that's sort of ethereal's a beautiful dreamy sort of scent.
So yeah, so what gives Ardor its beautiful colour?
The colour, so mainly from Buddha wood, so an Australian sort of wood, and it's like really rich on its own. When you have just the straight Buddha wood sort of extract, it's such a deep, intense red. It's beautiful, but you can't even see through the bottle. And even we do use a fair bit in there as a base note because it helps keep it staying longer on the skin as sort of that fixative on the skin. And it just, that's the one that you've got there is quite a nice red one. Sometimes they're a little bit more on the brown side, sometimes a little bit more red, but that one's nice. I love it when it gets that real rich red colour. And also probably I'd say the sweet orange in there gives it a little bit more of that orangey red in there too.
Very lovely. And then the last one I've got is actually in its rollerball size.
Yes, yeah.
What I love is this is just so cute and easy
They
to
are.
drag, right?
They are. I do. I took a long time trying to find the right bottle. When I found it, I was like, don't go anywhere, supply. I'm buying all of these.
Right. I know that can be tricky.
Yeah.
So tell us what's in this one.
So unfurl. So pretty much we've got obviously the extract of the botanicals in there. Do you want me to go through the botanicals or they're like what it's... Yeah, so basically it's in oil. These smaller rollers are the oil base, so they don't quite macerate as long with the alcohol process that I spoke about before, but they definitely sit in the oil, and we sort of like try and keep it at room temp so they infuse nicely. So you find they're a little bit lighter, but the notes in there, so I use amorous as a base note, which is sort of like sandalwood, but I find it a little bit lighter and maybe a little bit less intense, but has that nice smooth woody base in there. And vanilla, everyone loves vanilla. Well, I love vanilla too.
You do,
like
obviously,
yeah. It just gives it that such like beautiful, it's just such a good base note, like in a lot of perfumes. So but particularly unfurl, you really notice it come through. So a lot of people do, if they like a little bit of vanilla and smooth notes, they love unfurl. And then in the middle, the beautiful heart notes, we've got a few flowers in there. So osmanthus, which are little white flowers, and then linden blossoms, so little white flowers as well. They're quite on their own, quite intensely sweet. So we've sort of the amount that we use is really a beautiful smooth amount. That's not like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of flowers in there, which with the vanilla and then also that amorous, that little bit more of a neutral, not as sweet sort of smell, it goes really well. And then in the top notes, that's how I remember I go up the top notes, we've got Italian lemon, which is the best. I've got like this big vat of it, and oh my goodness, I just smell it. I love it so much. It's so good. And then pink grapefruit as well. So that lifts it, but still sort of like complements the white florals. So it's not too like heavy in the vanilla. So it's a great daytime scent, like date night scent. Like people use it all different. Like from what I hear from my customers and friends and family, they're just like it goes with different times, and because it's quite smooth and the oil there goes on really nice too. It's nice and nourishing.
Roll-ons because they're so easy to just, all the basically.
Definitely. And the dilution that we use is we use fractionated organic coconut oil. So it's really light. It's not going to be too heavy on your skin, but it's also going to help hold it to the skin and nourish the skin. So it's I need to use it a bit more. I've been using so much ethereal lately. I go through phases of what I use.
Yeah. And then when you were creating these, in terms of what's your process then to go from, are you an intention setter, or are you a create a vision kind of thing, and then what botanicals work with that, or do you go with what's the wellness element that I want for people and then create from there? What's your process?
Probably take from a bit of everything. I'd say the main thing is when I first started, I was like, I want 3 scents, like 3 core scents that are different in their personality. So I'd say probably personality is the biggest thing. I always sort of probably think about the person that would what they're like and what they would want to be using it for, and also complementing the wellness element too. So when I was in creating Ethereal, which is the most recent one that I sort of launched over a year ago, God, time's going quickly. I really sort of wanted something that was like soft and like someone who's a bit of a dreamer, someone that might like have quite a big imagination, who really likes to like, I guess, connect with themselves, or who needs to connect with themselves a little bit more, and something like a scent like this will help with that. So I really liked Blue Tansy because of the colour, and I was like, that's such a beautiful colour to complement that therapeutic intention and that personality. So that's sort of probably where I start. Personality, sometimes I start with like a location or like a personal memory. So I did have a perfume a long time ago before I rebranded called Deep, and it was sort of my memory of growing up and going to Stradbroke Island and having like the beautiful ocean, and I wanted that, it was blue as well, the colour of it, and it was a little bit more earthy, a little bit more, it probably wasn't too ocean-like, but definitely had that like, breeze kind of, like you thinking you're at the island and you've got these beautiful smells when you're camping. So it had cedar wood and a few other bits and bobs in there. So yeah, that was probably where I did a lot of initially making perfumes, but I'd say now it's like that personality, because I really want it to have that therapeutic intention and suit someone how they want to feel on a daily basis as well. So yeah, I'd probably say that's probably where I mainly do. So because I want to create a couple more, and I've started to already think about what personalities they're sort of suiting or what people need.
What people need. Yeah, because we've also all got different aspects of ourselves too.
I'd say all the perfumes suit me. Even though for different people, I'm like, got different personalities all the time.
Different moments.
Yeah.
And given that you're also in this new season of being a new mum.
Yes. Yeah. As I've mentioned a few times, sorry. It's probably like at the forefront of baby breath.
Well, given that, how old is your little baby now?
She turned 6 weeks last Friday. So pretty fresh, a little freshy still.
Absolutely. Still so incredibly fresh.
Yeah.
So how has that transition been for you? Even with, getting pregnant, etc. Was that okay for you? Or because we have a lot of customers on fertility journeys.
Yeah.
That's why they're changing out their perfumery.
Yeah.
And to now, in terms of getting the baby to know your scent, like what do you suggest for mums there?
Yeah, definitely.
It's your own journey.
I could say a lot about this even before I was pregnant and all the rest, but for my own journey, falling pregnant, luckily there wasn't any major concerns or issues that we had. But in saying that, I did do a lot of prep work beforehand. Had worked on my gut health, had worked on my nutrition levels and all the rest. So I'd say that would be like, we know that helps a lot with conception journey. And I had been using natural perfume and natural products and all the rest for quite over 5 years easily. So sort of probably had already naturally done a fair bit of preconception work already. Pregnancy was interesting. It was a bit up and down. It was it's a lot. It was good, but there was no major concerns. But just say probably like medication side of things, not having a thyroid, having to have a bit of replacement hormone was a bit of a, navigating that was a little bit tricky, but still overall really good. I was still using perfumes throughout, which is nice to be, I mean, I know a lot of people still use their perfumes, but like it's nice to know that it's not sort of having an effect on particularly, not just yourself, but your growing human as well. I probably use more the rollers, just because I sometimes in the early, I had a bit of nausea and things, and I was like, just any strong smells, even if it's a beautiful smell or not, even my favorite foods, I was like, it's just too much. But the rollers, I find like I could put it like a little bit like on Laura on my arm or something when I got to trimester 2 and 3. I could smell things a bit better without gagging. And then the birth of our little girl was really, really beautiful and positive. She came out fast and heavy, and she wanted to come into the world on the due date, like the 3% of babies that come on their due date. So it was a really lovely birth. I used like scent throughout the birth as well. I actually kept it quite simple though, like just didn't want to overwhelm everything. I used a little bit of sage, a little bit, but which is like the classic one people use for labour, but I'd say like a bit of cucumber extract, keeping it fresh, that sort of thing. And then I had ethereal in my hospital bag as well. Ethereal everything at the moment. And then postpartum has been a bit of a journey as well. I'd say the first 2 weeks is chaos. Just sleep deprivation. I'm a 9-hour woman, like asleep, so having not 9 hours, not even close to it, was a big shock to the system. But it's absolutely amazing how much you adapt. Both our girl and me have been healing really well. And I think in the first month, and I do say this to my clients as well, probably not using any scent whatsoever. No perfumes, just letting, soaking up. I wish I could bottle up her smell. Oh my goodness, it's crazy how much, so good.
Sweet. I mean, about vanilla, it's like...
literally so beautiful. So I didn't wear any scents there. I did through labour have a little bit of scent, using scents then, but since she's sort of earth side, only recently I've been starting to venture out of the house more the last few weeks, and I have been putting a bit of perfume when I go out and things, and just knowing if she's rubbing up against it a little bit, like there's no concern for her, like it's not something I'm worried that's going to be exposing her to too much stuff either. Her skin barrier is improving over like a month. Like she was getting that little baby acne, and now she's sort of going, you can see it getting more robust. So again, I'm going on and on here. But that's probably the main thing I suggest is definitely throughout pregnancy having a perfume that we know is not having all those additives and all those extra synthetics in there, and then obviously postpartum having a bit of a break from all perfumes, even if it is more natural, just for like a month or so, and then slowly leaning back into it and making sure you're both feeling good with it. Yeah, but in your diffuser, definitely use your diffuser if you've got one like in the house, just for like your mood, because obviously there's a big drop in hormones postpartum, which is fun. But yeah, we get out the other end.
Yeah, great. And it's your husband now, is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his take on scent and things, and what does he wear then? What's there? He
didn't really wear much like scent when I met him, to be honest. He probably just put deodorant on and that was it. But he likes to use Ardor because it is probably a little bit more of a masculine, if you want to like, really our scents are genderless. Whoever uses them, it doesn't matter. They're not really designed for that, but that does have that more masculine energy, which is great for me sometimes because I need a bit of that to get through the day. So but he uses that, and it has got a bit of rose in there, but it's not like the sickly sweet rose, which blends quite nice. So I love it when he wears it, and really it's just like when we go out to a date night or going to an event or something like that. But other than that, he's quite a basic man. Doesn't really wear too much, probably because he smells it so much in the studio. If he helps me out a little bit, he's like, okay, I've had a lot of that, it's fine. But yeah, he's been so supportive of this dream of mine, and he's helped recently make our perfume studio, which he's been frantically painting before the baby came and all the rest. So so that's been really nice, and so good to have someone supporting your dream as well.
For sure. Our men's sampler set, a mixture of little massive females from a whole lot of different brands, is actually pretty much one of our number one sellers.
Is it? That's awesome to hear. Yeah.
Because I think there are a lot more men out there looking and to play their part in the preconception part as 100%. Well. Yeah. But they still want it to feel masculine. They still want something that will smell nice, is healthy for them, but kind of feels natural. And so we have a few in that space, but I think there's still a lot of room for that sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, our next scent is I'm leaning towards a more masculine one as well, so I might be able to add to that at some point. But yeah, definitely Ardor. I've got a few clients, but also a few customers who've got their husbands onto it, because initially it's like, oh, it's red, they might think it's a girly sort of range, but it's not. Like, it's definitely, once they've used it, like, oh yeah, this is like got that nice beautiful woody notes that they seem to love.
And it'll come off different on their skin as well.
Oh yeah, right? It's so amazing. I still find it so fascinating how it can smell so different on people's skin, and that's something I always have to consider when I'm making perfumes too, is like, this might go a little bit more sweeter, or a little bit more these notes might come out more, and how can we make it balance across all of that as much as we can.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so how are you doing the juggle? Are you doing some time off maternity wise?
Yeah.
I know you've got your naturopath clients, and then also the perfumery, but being a full-time mum is a lot. How is that going for you?
It's been going pretty well so far. I have definitely stepped back from consulting, like the one-on-one face-to-face consults, and I've had a beautiful naturopath sort of take that load for me and look after my beautiful clients while I'm here. Oh, I feel sad. Like, I can't wait till when I finally get to see them again. But I'm going to have 6 months off from that. So next year I'll get back into consulting. But with the perfumes, I've sort of had a lot of help, and like we have got a couple of people that come and help us from time to time and make heaps of stock for us. So really at the moment, like, I'm just making orders like a few times a week, more or less depending on what week it is, and it's actually quite nice. Like, it's nice to just be like, all right, just give me an hour, I'm going to go. And I think as a lot of mums, you might feel like you lose your identity a little bit. You're just one big boob, or one big, that's all you are to them, at the moment anyway. She started smiling, so I'm getting a little bit something back now. So it's nice to just have something that is still me. And, you know, again, like it's always been a bit of a mindfulness process, making them, doing orders. I always spend so much time, like probably too much time packing them all up and all the rest, but it's just so soothing and nice. So yeah, it's been, some weeks have been a bit of a juggle, but I guess it's still early days. And then leading up to Christmas, we'll definitely have a few more hands on deck to help with all the gifting season, which I can't believe I'm even talking about, but I know it comes around so quickly. It's already sort of, you know, picking up a little bit. So yeah, that sort of juggle is learning. I'm learning. At the moment it's good, but we'll see. We'll keep you updated there.
Okay, it's an ongoing story.
Yeah.
Well, it is very exciting that your current 3 fragrances with Ode to Self are now part of the Sensoriam family.
So exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. It's always been part of my vision and my way of helping the world in terms of naturals, is to have a place where all of the best 100% natural perfume brands can be found. Yeah. So for those who are looking, it's all there, right?
Yeah.
It's all in one place. You don't have to go and check labels, because we've done that checking. Yeah. And so it's great to have you now part of.
Thank you so much. I used to look at your website before I even started making perfume, so I do definitely, and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is great, I can trust this website, I know what's on here, and then buy samples. So it's like very very nice sort of feeling to have them a part of your collection now, which you know, is so trusted. So that's amazing.
That's great to hear. Yes. And so we also have this month for orders that are coming through. You've kindly given us some of these little 2 mils, and we put them on. We have little cards made up for every single scent that we have, because sampling is a big thing with Sensoriam, because people are online effectively from around the world. Like I just sent off 2 orders just today, one to the US and one to Verona in Italy, kind of.
Oh wow!
So there's people all over the world looking for this stuff, and they need. This is the way to discover, right?
Yeah.
This is the way to then
so
see.
Personal. Yeah.
So we have little cards with the scent notes on them, and then what chakra they're for, and the mood, and everything like that.
Beautiful.
So yeah, we've got some of these lovely ones to be giving out for orders throughout this month. Which
Can't wait for more people to try it and enjoy it.
Exactly.
Very exciting.
Wonderful. And we look forward to hearing how your wonderful mothering journey keeps going along.
Thank you.
And what new scents come out throughout the time.
Yeah.
Because we know that a lot brands go through seasons themselves. Yeah. They drop off scents and new scents come, and then there's different season ingredients and all sorts.
Yeah, different trends, different. Yeah, it's just it's definitely it's exciting. I'm excited to get my creative brain. Mum brain's great, but get a bit more creative brain in there.
That too. Yeah. So thank you for joining us today, Laura.
Thanks so much, Jessica.
Yeah. And thanks to everyone for watching, and come and try Ode to Self here at Sensoriam. We'll speak to you next time. Bye.